What's up, everybody? It's the Nine Ball here, joined by my faithful compatriots here. At the top, we've got Malachi 36, aka the Flash.
What
How you
up?
doing, Flash?
Doing good. What's good, Flash fam? Having a good time hanging out with my boys.
To the right, I've got the mildewy of carrots over there. To the right, how you been?
You're muted. You're muted.
And finally, diagonally, we've got Gravity. How you been, Gravity Mark?
I want to say you said my name, but I don't know why. It's every time we go live, like for like the first little bit,
It's
like I can't hear you.
I gotta work
It's
on
every
that.
time.
I heard you fine.
I don't know what it is, but like you end up coming in like a few minutes into it. But I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
We're gonna work on that.
It's probably my setup over here. It's a little janky over here. We're getting it fixed. We're getting it. We'll get it. We'll get it good to go.
We're still working on all the kinks. We're getting it. We're getting it. It's getting better and better.
All right.
No, I hear you perfectly.
Yeah, what you got for us there, Nine Ball?
All right. So, getting over to business, we're gonna start here with everybody's favorite news. And by I mean everybody, I mean nobody's. I'll read it because this is near and dear to my heart. And it is that Cyberpunk 2077 is delayed yet again. Tamar Huzan from GameSpot writes that CD Projekt Red has announced that Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed by 21 days and will now launch on December 10th. It was originally set for release on November 19th, but according to a statement from studio execs Adam, oh god, I'm gonna butcher your name, Badowski and Marcin Inwowski. I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna do the best. I did the best I can. Shipping the game on the PS4 and Pro, Xbox One and Series X and PC alongside next-gen version of Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 and Stadia has been a challenge, especially under the working conditions from home. Especially under the work from home conditions, since Cyberpunk 2077 evolved towards almost being a next-gen title. Somewhere along the way, we need to make sure everything works well and every version runs smoothly. The statement continues. We're also aware it might seem unrealistic when someone says 21 days can make any difference in some massive and complex game, but they really do. The pair also clarified that recent news that the game had gone gold doesn't mean work on the game was complete. As the team is able to continue refining the experience, the time the studio has allotted to do this post-certification work is what was miscalculated, thus resulting in the delay. The improvements and tweaks being made in the extra time will be ready and available when the game launches in December. I'm gonna start on this one. This just hurts my feelings. Now, initially they teased us, and I gave them the thing because when they initially showed it, they said it's ready when it's ready. So we gave them that. Then it gave us a launch date, and then they delayed it. Then they gave us another one, and now it's been delayed again. Now, the only thing I'm gonna say is if it's gonna be delayed this long, it better not come out with a big day one patch. I swear to God, if I get it and it gets a 40 gig day one patch,
Oh, it's gonna be a big boy.
I'm gonna be pissed off.
It's gonna be a beefy one.
They better not. I mean, this has been too long of a delay. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's too long. I mean,
It's been too long.
I'll give it to him.
It's been too long.
Malachi just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Nope, it's been too long.
Yeah. We'll talk about it when it's our turn. But yeah. We'll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You kind of give it to him. Okay, CD Projekt Red makes good games, so I'll wait. We'll wait. I'll be patient. I got a huge backlog of games I could burn through anyway, so I'll give him the time. We're gonna go up to you, Malachi. A Flash.
So,
What are your thoughts?
So me and Gravity were talking about this pre-show, and we looked it up. Do you know when Cyberpunk 2077 was announced?
About at least 5 years ago.
I would take 5 years. Does the year 2012 mean anything to you?
That's why. That was when the world was supposed to end.
That 2012 is when I met my wife. I've been married as long as this game's been in development and announced. That's you know what I mean? Like, that's now granted, it's not like an extreme long time, but it's not. No, I put my years in. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's that. Now granted, it still has yet to beat how long it took for Kingdom Hearts 3 to be released after that was announced. Same thing for Final Fantasy 15, which formerly was Versus 13 back in 2006. And that just released. And what was the year? What was it? 2016 is what we said there, Gravity?
Yeah, I believe so. 15 was, I think, 2015, 2016 that it came out.
I think it was 16. I think it was like December of 2016. Yeah.
I think it's 16 because you said it was 4 years old.
Yeah, I thought it was closer to 18, but when we looked it up, it was like 2016. And I was just like, that one was 10 years if you're including Versus 13. That one was 10 years in development and kept on switching the way it was going and everything like that. This is getting really close to that point. It's 8 years now. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I had a little bit more faith when they said that it gone gold, and of course we've already discussed this, and going gold doesn't mean that it's necessarily complete. It just means that it can go retail ready, all that good stuff, but it doesn't mean that it's actually finished. So that was something that I was like, when I heard that it went gold, when Ghost of Tsushima went gold, I was excited for that. I was like, all right, cool. Now I can actually go ahead and jump on some Ghost of Tsushima. No delays there, came straight on out. Everything was cool. I had the same expectations for Cyberpunk 2077, and now granted, it's better. I'll take this over when they're supposed to launch in April to now November. That was the last delay that they had. I'll take the 21 days over 21 months. You know what I mean? So, even though obviously my mouth is not accurate there, I'm just saying that's exaggeration. But I'm just saying I would take that any day of the week over a full-fledged more months into 2021. If they can get it this year, I'll be content.
Sometime this year.
Sometime this year. I mean, there's not much more to go. We're pretty much there.
We still got weeks.
It's like a season of One Piece. Like, it's still going on. You're waiting for the end of it. You know what I mean? So we'll see. What about you, Gravity? What are your thoughts about it?
Gravity, what's your thoughts?
Oh man, I mean, I feel like when Cyberpunk went gold, like we did talk about, like, oh, like just because it's going gold doesn't mean that like it's officially ready. Like, I feel like we all were just like putting that out there just to be nice. Like, just to say, oh, like, you know, like, don't get your hopes up, but like, do get your hopes up, and then they're just like, yeah, about that, you know, it's not quite ready. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was that the issues are more so with playing the games on the newer consoles, with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox One, the Series X, rather than any issues with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. And I feel like, especially with how long they've been having this game in development, they were probably planning on releasing it for the PS4 and the Xbox One, and now they've taken so long that now they have entirely new consoles coming out they're like, "Hey guys, we're gonna need you to get this game on these newer consoles too." And they're like, "Oh, really? Like this? I mean, like, does next month work for you guys? Because I don't know. I don't know about that. Like
Randy!
like
That's not work.
like that's kind of that's kind of how it feels. And again, I said this in a previous cast. I'll say it again. We're immensely appreciative for everyone who's been working on this game, because the hype behind this game is enormous. And the last thing that at least I want to do is I don't want to put any negativity out there for those developers who are working really hard to try to make this happen. And if they need a little extra time to polish this game, great. I just don't want it to turn into one of those Kingdom Hearts 3 situations where your expectations are just up here and then the game's just kind of like here, where like it's not bad, but like it's like like
That Anthem, people was like way up here.
Anthem is a bad example. Bad example for that one.
Well, no, you know what? No, Nineball, that was the perfect example. You don't want to give the developers too much crap. Like, obviously, like if it's been taking them this long to get the game out there, there's clearly a lot of love that they're putting into it. But at the same time, there is going to be that hype expectation. The longer it puts people off, the more people the longer it takes for it to get released, the higher the expectations the fans are going to have for it. And what I don't want to see is just people putting their expectations up really, really high, and then the game is great, but people are expecting more than that because it's taken this long. Yeah. And then ultimately the reviews for it, or people just badmouth it just because of that.
Yeah, and if I could interject here real fast before we go to our final person that seems very, very heartbroken and depressed by this, I definitely want to point out there too as well is that Kingdom Hearts 3, I have yet to play it, but I know that Kingdom Hearts 3 definitely was a good game. Like I think on GameStop it was an 8.5 out of 10. Metacritic, I think it was like in the 80, like 89, 90, something like that. So it got good reviews, but I think, again, to Gravity's point, if you are working on a game for so long and it comes out and it's not absolutely mind-blowing, it could be great, but if it's not absolutely mind-blowing, then you're let down. And that's an emotion that you want to try to avoid. And I think that's kind of what happened with Kingdom Hearts 3, because I heard all this hype behind it. I was excited for it back when Levu was working with us there in the office and everything like that. He had the game. I know Mildew and Carrie had the game. I was excited to hear what their feedback was, and I heard nothing. I heard literally nothing, but not just from them. I didn't hear back from any of my friends that were like really, really excited for Kingdom Hearts 3.
How was Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yeah. And I wasn't expecting anything like immediately. Maybe it's something like yeah, the game's pretty cool. I wasn't expecting anything immediately because I figured I would get the full synopsis of it after the game has been completed. But what's going on with that though is that's not what happened. The game was beat. I talked to a few of my people. I was like, hey, did you ever beat the game? They're like, yeah, I beat it. What are your thoughts? Like what? Like this is Kingdom Hearts 3, so I don't know. I think that the longer, as again to Gravity's point, the longer that you're working on the game, when it releases, it has to be mind blowing. It has to be top notch. Yeah, it has to be a banger. It has to be a banger.
You just get it at Half-Life 3 expectations like legend, but nobody ever hit it. And speaking of
Half-Life.
Hey, the perfect person to talk about Kingdom Hearts over here.
Oh, hold on. I think you're still muted for me. Hold on.
Who, me?
No, Mildew.
I'm like, wait, I think he's muting me on purpose.
No, I wasn't muting you. I wasn't muting you
on purpose.
There you go. There you go.
He's like, I can't hear you. I'm like, no, I'm testing my mic and we were hearing me fine earlier, Malachi. What are you forgetting to turn off?
We Gucci. Go ahead. Spit your knowledge.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's get your thoughts on this.
I'm definitely going to say I'm very... I'm still on the edge of my seat. I'm annoyed with the extension, but I will say I do understand a lot of the points that they make. You know, they're still a little bit nervous about what is in the game currently, so they probably have something in there that's not working as correctly as they want to where they don't have, and they want to make it perfect enough, or not perfect, but good enough to where they don't have to do that first day 40 gigabyte update patch. For Nine Ball over there. Although Nine Ball, I'm going to send him a message and just ask him to just do one for you, anyways. But no, I mean, I'm definitely been waiting on this. Like said, Malachi, they first announced it in 2012. First launch date was April 16th, and then of course that's with COVID and everything going on. Everything starts getting pushed back farther and farther because of the work at home situations. I completely understand that. Having to deal with people with work at home and all, it's not fun. I mean, there's so many different steps and all to where it's like it can cause problems, delays, whatnot. So I'm okay giving them the time. And I definitely will have to agree with Malachi on the fact of stop hyping yourself up, people. Hype yourself up for the fact that the game is coming, not what you expect to be in the game. You got to get the game, go in with a blank slate, and let them build up to what they've got going. That way, you're not like expecting this, grade A Galaxy Saga, whatever, to come through and be like the best thing in the world and all. Don't do that. Trust me, like we've said before, it leads to nothing but disappointment. Biggest point was Kingdom Hearts 3. And Malachi, I'm pretty sure I told you about it. Like, I love Kingdom Hearts 3. I had Levo was like, when I talked with Levo after the game, he was like, I trashed it. Like, I couldn't take it. I trashed it. I'm like, why? He goes, I just trashed it. It was so bad. I'm like, I played through the game. I'm like, I don't see what was bad. He goes, how could you not? I'm like, because I love Kingdom Hearts. I loved what they did in the story. I'm happy they even have a 3 coming out. And I love the worlds I played through. I really don't see a problem here, I really don't. So, I think one of the biggest problems a lot of gamers have is, like you said, is everyone says they've hyped themselves up so much with high expectations, and then they're disappointed, and then they rage quit on the game. One of the big ones I love rage quits on is the ending for Mass Effect 3. Now, granted, yes, it was a bad ending, but they rage quit on the whole series. I'm like, don't do that. No. The one bad ending should not affect the entire gameplay because the story from 1 up till the ending of 3 is phenomenal. It's beautiful. And I think that's one of the big problems that the gamers have nowadays. Like I said, me personally, though, a little annoyed that I have to wait even longer, but I'm willing to wait. I've been waiting for 8 years now. I can wait 21 more days. Now, if they come back after 21 days, say, how does 2077 sound, guys? I'm going to rage quit. At that point, I will rage quit.
I feel like a lot of sorry to interrupt there. I feel like a lot of developers are, like, at least lately, have been just putting out like smaller form factor games, like just right away, and then they're just coming out with constant updates to kind of make up for the fact that like that could have been development time that could have prolonged the game.
Yeah, no, and I definitely agree with that because if you look at it, especially like they were stating in there with the work at home situations causing some delays and all, they probably don't have the capacity or the capability to create the massive worlds that they want to right off the bat. Mm-hmm. So they're having to give us a jigsaw puzzle. So we're going to get piece by piece by piece. But if you stick with them long enough, you're going to get a fantastic game. And maybe some other goodies along the way. Like they will have like little extra special quest events or something as you play through, little seasonal things, something like that. So, like I said, I'm all up for waiting for Cyberpunk 2077. I'll wait an extra 21 days. I am A-okay doing that because as soon as it drops, I'm going to be ecstatic. And I don't care, I'm not hyping myself up for anything. I've seen the trailers and all. I've seen what they're giving me for base point starts off with. I'm already stoked. And if they go above that, awesome. If they keep it going, pretty linear and all with it, even better. I don't care. I've been waiting for this game. I want to play it. It could be grade D, material. I'd still play the game. I'm that stoked for it.
Yeah, we are. I feel like everybody is. It's just for me. I like it. Like you said, I do believe that we can wait. As long as they don't 76 it, we should be fine. We're gonna be we should be good on that and just wait. But speaking on that, don't forget everybody, we still have the 2077 drawing. Now, I think we have one more month left for that.
Uno.
Yep, one more month.
The winner will be Mewtwo Carrot.
We just need you to follow, right? If it's following, you don't have to really subscribe or anything like that. You just gotta tell me how this works. You just follow it. I'll let you actually let you take it away.
Yeah. All you have to do is just be following us literally on Twitch.
Yeah.
That is all you have to do. Just follow us on Twitch. Of course, if you want to sub, we're not going to say no to a sub. So by all means, we appreciate the sub if you want drop us a sub. But all you have to do to be entered to win is just follow us on Twitch and just be watching our shows to see if you get announced as a winner. We already have three currently picked. We got Toronto, so congratulations. We got Tori, congratulations. We got Hilo, congratulations. So those are 3 winners that we have selected over the months. We have one more. It could be you. It could be you.
Now, we're not adding any more, so if they delay up to 2077, you're not going to have any chance, okay?
Yeah.
That's right. Trying to make us broke.
Not working.
It's going to be 21 days of 2077 is what it's going to be.
You know what, Malachi? In the event that they do push this back to 2077, what are you going to do?
Gravity, shut up.
You're gonna have to wait that long, just sending you just a DM, just excuse me, Malachi, but I believe back in the year 2020, you promised a copy of Cyberpunk 2077.
Right.
It is currently 2077, and the release date is right around the corner.
Yeah.
Will you still be supplying me the copy of this game?
We'll have
First off,
we'll have a contingency.
by that time, I wish I was talking still. You know? I'm pretty sure we'll all be like 5 feet under at that point, you know, unless they come out with a miracle drug.
Yeah. I was about to say, if it comes down to that, of course we'll have a contingency there, whether we have to just give out PlayStation or Xbox Series X cards, something like that, so they could get a different game or towards a purchase, something like that. But I have faith that's going to be happening this year. We'll hold on to it. Okami Blackstar, and sorry if I said your name wrong, but Okami says, how will we know if we get picked? We'll actually announce it, and it'll be during one of these episodes here that we do for ALWT Things Gaming. Right now we're episode 20, so thank you very much again for tuning in, but we will announce it. That's all you have to do. Again, just follow us, and that's it. And we also have another drawing that is in the works after this, and that one is TBD and TBA. Back to you there, Nineball.
Well, we got the next one. Actually, I'm going to send this one back to you, Flash, because this is your type of thing. The PlayStation 5 embargo lifted.
Yeah, all right.
Give it to the Sony pony.
Yeah.
Sony pony. Full disclosure, I like all video games. But anyway, getting into this right now. PlayStation 5 embargo is lifted. So Brianna Reeves from PlayStation Lifestyle, she says Sony sent the PlayStation 5 and various accessories to a number of Western media outlets and influencers last week. Now they're finally able to share. Last week, by the way, it was just the box that they were able to show off. Now, as of 7 a.m., I think this morning, they were able to do an actual unboxing, and I think you'd be able to show the first level of Astro's Playroom. That's what it is. But yeah. Going on with the article on here, so they're able to share their first impressions. At present, only details about the system itself, like in a powered off state. DualSense, Astro's Playroom making the rounds, but one piece of the key information it may be overlooked. The PlayStation 5's Disc Edition is not as heavy as it may seem at first glance. In terms of pure weight, in fact, Sony's new console and Microsoft's are nearly the same size. Wow. As the embargo lifted this morning at 7 a.m., there we go, Central Time, Jeff Keighley, great guy, posted a quick video for himself holding onto the PS5 out of his box. Partway through the video, the Game Awards creator noted that, in case you guys didn't know that, Jeff Keighley is the Video Games Awards director and creator, noted that while the console is indeed large, it actually doesn't weigh as much as you would think. Keighley weighed both the PS5 and the Xbox Series X on scales, finding that the PS5 clocks at 9.9 pounds. Meanwhile, the Xbox Series X weighs at 9.6 pounds. So, with that being said, I know that the unit itself is astronomically big. It's huge, but I think that I think that the weight of itself, and this is, I mean, you're not going to be holding your PS5 the whole time. You're going to be holding your Xbox Series X as you're playing it. So obviously the weight itself truly doesn't really mean too much unless you're curious about putting it on a certain entertainment system that is only able to hold an X amount of weight. I think that that's kind of a statement for both consoles, being like, hey, we're next gen. You know what I mean? We don't have to have this whole clunky, like this really big clunky type technology that's in our systems that's weighing a ton, that's weighs as much as a 4 month a 4-year-old baby, nothing like that. Like it's literally yeah, it's literally just going to be like, hey, we're small, we're sleek, or we're large, but we're not that heavy, and we're able to be really, 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 really powerful. I'm definitely excited about that. Quick side note, I didn't include this in the doc, but me and Gravity were talking, and turns out there's the PlayStation 5's controller has like a little Easter egg to it. So I have this is my PS4 right here. So my PS4 controller, pretend this is a PS5. Right here, there's like grips, but if you go really, 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 really close on it, there's going to be symbols. Those grips are actually symbols, PlayStation symbols of the triangle, the square, the X. So I thought that was really cool. Like just the little grips on there. Like it's so small. You have to kind of zoom in on it. Saw it on one of the articles as we were looking at information for that. I just thought that was cool. Little Easter egg for you.
Okay, let me put this. For me, it's not that big of a surprise. The way technology's been lately, it's been getting actually smaller and smaller. People have been worried about the weight because they look at it, and then you look at you look at the Xbox One, and everybody's, infamously calling it the fridge, and the other one, and PlayStation looks big in them too. I think most of the space has nothing to do with the parts, but I think it's mostly built for heat. The more space you have, you can actually dispense heat better. One of the biggest problems they have is the compact sizes. When you try to compact all that stuff into a little box like that, like the PlayStation 4s in them, you're going to have heat issues like that, where it keeps overheating, and you got to have better heat sinks and stuff. So I think most of that has a lot to do with, I think, size more than, not size, but more than, the size has much more to do with the heat issue than what anything else got it out of it. I'm gonna send it over to you, Gravity. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, to that point, I totally do agree with that. Honestly, like over the past, like what, 20 years or so, like you've seen these kind of waves of just technology coming out where like, oh look, it's getting, like, look at that, like we can make it bigger, and then they're like, oh but look, now we can shrink it down into a smaller size. Oh, but now we can make it bigger, and now it's smaller again. Like, I feel like technology is always going to go through those kind of cycles of just making things bigger and smaller. But I definitely, with this one, I agree that, like, I feel like they tried to marry both of those ideas, where they did try to compact everything as tightly as possible in there, but they didn't make it too tight, and they made it just big enough so that way they could really make sure that they stay cool, because the cooling system in both of these consoles is they're just beefy. Like, these fans are big, they are powerful. These fans do not mess around. Like, when they took out the heatsink for the PlayStation 5 and the teardown, I was like, geez, that is enormous. Like, they are serious about trying to keep these consoles cool. And I appreciate that, especially because Ab's PlayStation 4 gets way too hot when she plays, like, either Apex or
Call of Duty,
Warzone.
Yep.
Yeah, we gotta, like, at some point we have to bust out an ice pack. And for any of you guys out there who have that same issue, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Just either get it cleaned or just wait for the PlayStation 5 and just put that thing to bed.
put it down. Put your PS4 down.
Tuck it in. Turned off the lights.
Big air pack. Then they go to like ice on it.
Just get a big old bag of ice and just.
Yeah.
There we go. That'll keep it for 5 minutes.
Take old yellow out back. Take.
I'm just saying, and I'm glad that they're having a plan to kind of wean people off of those older consoles, but yeah, I definitely do. In terms of the embargo, I'm glad we get to see more of it. I don't know if you guys saw this text in that group chat, but for a while, I was comfortable with just being like, okay, you know what? I might not get the PlayStation 5 right away. That's fine. I'll wait. But as soon as I started to see people put out thumbnails saying, "Look, we got it. Here's the box," I had my internal mean person for just PC purposes. My internal mean person had a lot to say, and none of it was productive. None of it was productive. I'm really happy for all the people who are actually able to get a hold of it. I can't wait to see what content they have. I can't wait to see what kind of secrets they're gonna show off with this thing that we haven't seen yet. But holy, my initial response to it was just, what is this? Or why you? You of all people? I mean, I know, you do gaming stuff. I get it. And I know that, you have a lot of subscribers. I'm like, I mean, you're actually really tight with all these companies. And, I get that. But come on! I can't even get a pre-order!
Yep.
Let me get a pre-order first, and then we'll talk.
The pre-orders. Sorry, so you can't pre-order the pre-order.
And
they need to have a better system. They need to have some sort of ticket system.
Yeah.
You are 107th in line.
God, that's
a little bit of lottery
all over again.
A little lottery system there.
27. I-27.
What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, what are yours?
Well, first off, my first thought was when you started saying ticket system, I jumped straight to Beetlejuice when he gets in there, pulls out a ticket, it's like 1,003,000, and they're only at number 2. I'm like, oh. I kind of feel that's going to be Gravity in that case, But yeah, I'm not going to bother with pre-orders right now because it's a nightmare. But I'm glad they're making the size bigger. Like you guys have been saying, I'm glad they're making it bigger because I'm definitely going to agree with Nineball on this one. They're definitely making them bigger to allow for more cooling. That's why towers are kind of big. People just see these big hunking towers like, oh, it's big and heavy. And it's like, no, it's that way because it needs airflow. You've got fans in there that are going to control the air, circulate it to keep your components cool. Because you overheat those things, they're going to fry, and it's not easy to replace. And when you have a compact system, kind of like what the old PS4s, 3s, and everything was like, it's really not. You really can't replace anything. You gotta get a brand new one. So I'm glad they're making the fans that beefy. I'm glad they're making them bigger to allow better airflow. The weight doesn't surprise me because it looks like they're using some higher end, low weight plastics and all, some poly mixtures and everything to where it allows it to not overheat and you don't feel the heat and all, but still allows it to be lightweight to where it's not kind of like a heavy tower. Most cool master towers and all, they've got some decent weight to them. I don't know what you'd say, Nineball, probably 10 pounds or so, depending on what you get.
Weight now. It probably definitely weighs more than an 8-month-old.
Yeah, so it's maybe 15 pounds or something.
10, 15, something like that.
Yeah, depending upon what you get. Now, there's ones out there that probably weigh 20, but those things are OMG, what the heck are you doing? You're running AK vids. But anyways, I'm glad they're doing it because, Gravity said, I don't have to keep getting on an ice pack just to put it on there to kind of cool it down, going there. You'll be fine in 20 minutes, Have to go to Kroger's and get, a couple ice packs, put it on there while we're at it. Going to throw some shrimp in there because by the time the ice pack's melted, the water's boiling, I'm cooking some shrimp, then I can sit there and eat while I'm gaming,
Thought about it.
I'm like, it's like if you can cook, food on a freaking PS4 from just playing 5 hours of Call of Duty, something's wrong.
Barbecue some hamburgers on top.
It's like, hold on, guys, I gotta cook an omelet.
Wait, gotta flip the steak. Hold on, cover me.
Yeah, cover me, flipping my steaks.
I will say,
you see a burger fly up and back down, splat.
Yeah.
Where's my cheese? and I need a beer.
Two quick things I do want to say though, real fast, is that whenever that would happen, whenever we were playing with Apps 3315 on Call of Duty, you start hearing that thing starting getting like an angry child. It's like it's just getting really, 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 really loud to the point to where I'm panicking that all I'm gonna hear is a boom, and then just like a big atomic bomb explosion. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I agree with you. I think that the cooling is definitely going to be top notch with these next gen consoles. So very excited about that. And then second, retracing back, because I just thought about it. Okami Black Star, yes, you will find out again. I know I said this a little bit before. You will find out if you are watching the video, if you're announced. But also off stream, I will be reaching out to you guys individually through your inbox, through Twitch. Or if I have your Instagram or email, I'll be reaching out to you that way as well. So if you're still watching this Okami Black Star, hopefully that answers your question. You can watch it live when we make the next announcement, which the next announcement for that's going to be next Tuesday, same time. And then we'll have a little wheel in the whole nine, so you'll be able to see if your name was selected or not. And also, I'll be reaching out to you to your DMs as well. So that's how you would know if you won. Just to clarify that in case there's any question for anyone that's watching right now, listening on Anchor or podcasts around the globe, the whole nine. All right, go ahead.
All those thoughts are going to say mildewy carrot.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm like we said, we're extremely glad that, to be honest, they're getting these done and that they are considering the heat, because you do not want to go through another one of those where you had like the red ring of death or the yellow lights of doom or something like that all over again. And I'm glad that they're taking that seriously.
Especially with, how hard it is to get a system now. With the pre-orders being out the door, I can guarantee you first day drops, it's going to be like Black Friday at every game station. Walmart, Myers and all, they're going to have mom, pa's, grandma in there. They're all fighting for a PS5. It's Black Friday, and it's actually Monday morning, So,
well, we'll see.
I'm definitely glad that they're doing that, because, like we said, it's not fun frying it. It's really not. Especially if you're a high-end gamer and all, and this is your job and this is what you love to do and all, and you're like, all right, we're gonna turn on. Next, that thing sounds like a B-52 taking off, and then next, you're offline for a couple months because it fried itself. It's not good.
You won't be good at all.
No problem, Black Star. They just say okay, thanks. So no problem, Black Star.
So,
all right.
But yeah. And by the way, that extra 0.3 pounds on the PS5 is because their hard drive's better.
Is it though?
It's actually a little bit better. It's actually got a little bit more to it.
That is true. Right. I did check out. Who's talked? I seen it actually on, I want to say, TechLink.
I know they have the better SSD, but as far as hard drive,
SSD,
well, that's hard drive. The SSD.
I
was going old school.
All right.
I'm still stuck in old school mode of HDDs. So it's the SSD is that's that extra 0.3 pounds.
Extremely small.
Okay. I wasn't sure if there's another component that you're talking about that's for the hard drive.
No, okay. My brain went to the old school of it's a hard drive is what memory SSDs for the disk drives or solid state drives. That is your hard drive set, but it's actually solid state and then the hard drive. So yeah, you all can ignore me. It's been a day.
Well, we're gonna move on here to Genshin Impact. Yes, number 3 on the topic list. Genshin Impact.
Yes.
Going strong. I'm actually let you read this one, Gravity. I know you like your MMOs.
Oh man, I love my MMOs.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah, let's see. Where are we at? Here we are. So it looks like Heidi Kemps from GameSpot, quote, when you hear the words, quote, free to play, you probably think of very specific kinds of games. Mobile time killers, first-person shooters with loot boxes, MMORPGs. However, a story-driven open-world action RPG in a similar vein to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is probably not what springs to mind. But that's exactly what Genshin Impact aims to be. It delivers a large, lore-filled, graphically lush world with nuanced combat, character building, exploration, mechanics, and co-op, cross-play access, multiplayer platforms. see, at the most appealing price point possible, free.
Woo!
I mean, who doesn't like free? And while it succeeds admirably for the most part, it stumbles in a few key ways that reminds you that there's no such thing as a fully free to play game. Genshin Impact makes a great first impression. The anime-inspired visuals are inviting and colorful, and fully voiced. Which honestly, the voice acting in it's not that bad, from at least what I've played so far. Back to this article. It also gets you going with the gameplay very quickly, and thanks to solid control design, you'll be running, swimming, climbing, dodging, gliding, fighting. Slimes.
Yeah.
Slimes, fighting slimes. Oh, that's right. You do fight slimes. It's been like a week. Just give me that one. and slinging spells just a few minutes after the intro cutscenes wrap up. And once your first additional party member officially joins your posse, things start to get very interesting, as you'll start to learn the ins and outs of the elemental interactions that make Genshin Impact a very unique. Yeah, Genshin Impact. If you haven't played it, what are you doing? What games are you playing? Let us know.
Warframe.
I don't want to say none.
Ghost of Tsushima. Final Fantasy 14.
And I can take this one. I don't know if anybody else in here has played it yet, but
No.
it's not bad. I know I've said this before. As soon as you jump in, if anybody has played Breath of the Wild, it feels very, 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 very close to it. Like, the visuals look very similar. The combat system is pretty similar. Like, picking up just stray items off the ground is very similar, where they kind of like glitter and you go and you're like, oh, shiny thing, I gotta go pick that up. But the gameplay for it is actually really fun. The voice acting isn't bad. And that's definitely something that for me, I look at like when I play games. Like, I look to see if they're just voice actors like reading a line for the sake of reading a line, or if they're reading the line and actually embodying the character in the scene. And it actually does, more often than not, at least in my opinion, from what I've played so far, kind of feels like they're actually playing the character. And it, for anybody who does watch anime, it can be a little, flamboyant. It can be very like, like it can be a little dramatic. But at least for me, as somebody who does like anime, I love it. So far, it's been really fun.
Oh, okay. It looks fun. I was going to download it, and I got sidetracked. Someone was like, look, Blessed Online. I was like, oh, let me just download this instead.
Thank you, Silent.
I never came back to it. I think I still got it paused for my downloads. I need to restart it. It looks interesting. It has a pretty big world. It seems to have a lot of people that's playing it right now. It's worth giving it a shot, too. Let me see. Mildewy, you got any thoughts on it?
So I do remember this game. I have watched trailers for it before. I actually just got it set up for a download, so eventually I'll start playing it here, but I got so much to do already. Y'all keep throwing games at me. Everyone's like, oh, there's nothing wrong with the free game. I'm like, no, there's not, except if you got other games to play. So, but no, I definitely saw it. It looks really good, really interesting. TBF Abyss has actually been playing it, and he's pretty interested into it, and he says it's pretty good. So I definitely agree with it. Definitely has a look of Breath of the Wild feel to it. So definitely very unique, very anime stylish. So I didn't see much on story play when I was looking at like story mode and all, like what the main story concept is and everything about it, side quests or whatnot. So I guess that's something I'll just have to figure out when I get in there. But I definitely will say I'll be playing it, eventually in the future here sometime soon. They've got 21 days till Cyberpunk 2077 comes out, and then I'm gone. So,
in a way, that kind of works out. I was about to say, in a way, that kind of works out because now that gives you more time to play TMNT Smite.
Oh yeah, no, heck yeah. That was going to be the biggest problem for me. It was like, all right, we got Smite going. I know we got 2077.
Yeah.
Mildewy's not sleeping anymore. But now Mildewy can sleep.
Yeah.
If there's a choice, I just have to delete.
Well, hey,
button
if you
on my-
need some energy,
How about some raise energy?
Whoa!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raise the roof.
You guys don't have to go
There's
ahead
a
and call
segue.
the ambulance for me. Y'all know I can't have that crap.
Right.
I'm
Well,
not
for
saying anything
y'all-
bad against Ray's energy drinks. I just could not unfortunately have all that caffeine. It is not good for me. The last time I did it was like, Mildewy, where are you? Mildewy? Oh, he's twitching. Yeah, it wasn't good. So I'll stick with my green tea, thanks. But
Well,
definitely
for
check it out though. Ray's energy drinks. You gotta love them. Malachi's still alive, so he's still drinking them, going strong. You know, bought out the store recently, so he's got that. He can pass it around, share the love.
All day.
But yeah, no, I've heard good things about Ray's energy drinks, so y'all check them out.
Go to Rep Sports at www.repp. Is it PP, two P's, right?
Mm-hmm. 2 P's in a pod.
SPORT Sports is it .com.
Yep.
At
Repsports.com.
and don't forget to check out to put what is it ALWT Gaming at the checkout
That's us.
and receive your 15% off for your purchase.
That's a 15%, people.
Yeah.
Bars.
that's
Any
1.5%.
event, I mean, this can go towards your PlayStation. This can go towards the Cyberpunk 2077.
Woo!
This can go towards your Xbox.
Woo!
You might want to get a PC and think about it. That $15 could go towards that big old thing that you can stick in there to keep your computer cool.
You can also use it just to go to Kroger's and buy out their cooler just to get a bunch of ice bags and you just stick it in there.
There you go.
You can do that too. You can get like a few. I mean, that's about is that 3, 4, 5 ice bags for your PlayStation 4?
Yeah.
The only thing I
Some
would
pasta on top of it while you're playing.
The only thing I would say real fast, just on my take, because I really don't have a whole lot to say about Genshin Impact, to be honest with you. I did download it. I do want to check it out. I think it is interesting that it has that whole Breath of the Wild type vibe, but also has a Pokemon feel to it. So I definitely am very interested to check that out. I have it downloaded. I have yet to start it, and I'll probably do a stream for that one on the ALWT page, maybe through on YouTube, Twitch. We'll see, but right now that's TBD. TBD.
You said Pokemon. Am I even gonna be able to catch a Pikachu and like a?
I don't know.
Sun hat.
I don't know. I haven't really dove too much into it, but that's what a lot of
find out.
yeah, that's what a lot of people were referencing. That's like very Breath of the Wild and Pokemon like.
Yeah, like at the very least, like from how far into it I've gotten, I think I've only had 2 characters. I have like your initial character, and then the one extra, your next character who's an archer, and I love playing as her. Holy crap, she's like it's given me a lot of Horizon feels when I play her. But don't quiz me on the names. I'm terrible with names. But from at least from like what I've come to understand, it does have kind of like a mobile game kind of gacha system where you can summon for extra characters that you can play as, but those characters aren't necessarily like required to continue the story or actually get anything important in the story, at least from what I've come to understand. It's just new characters that you can play as to run around the world, and the world's pretty big. Like, I was actually kind of surprised with how big the world was.
Okay.
But yeah, at least you can play it on PC, PlayStation 4. I don't know about Xbox, but you can also play it on your phone. I haven't tried it yet, but I do have it downloaded on my phone. The one thing I'm still kind of upset about is that, at least again from what I've come to understand so far, is that they don't have third-party controller support for the game yet. So you can't like use a Bluetooth controller and hook it up to your phone and play it that way. You have to use like touch screen like commands for it, which to me, I'm just like, at that point I'm just covering up the screen. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm smudging my screen up to high heck.
Yeah.
Like, if you can get that fixed, I'd be playing it on my phone all the time. Like, you won't be able to rip it away from me. But
You're using your tongue to hit the attack button, like.
yeah. Don't you guys do that too?
yeah, all day.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, I do that in every game of Warzone.
I hate those games where they say you have to do a slash attack, and I'm like licking my screen, like.
Oh yeah, like Ruben. Exactly like that. But whenever we get around to actually playing it more, we will have more news, more feedback from us, which is at the end of the day, isn't that what you want? You just want a little bit more from us.
Just a little bit.
You just want to spend a little bit more time with us.
What
Are
going?
you lonely too?
Speaking of lonely games,
Why are you harsh on my Prince of Persia, bro?
I'll take over this one.
All right.
Steve Petit from GameSpot. The Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake was announced during the latest Ubisoft Forward presentation. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake releases on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on January 21st of 2021. It's all ready to pre-order, and you'll get a few nostalgic bonuses by ordering early. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake is being developed by Ubisoft Pune and Muabi Studios. They need to change these names. But Ubisoft is keeping the foundation of the fan favorite original. There will be numerous improvements besides just the much improved graphics to make it more modern. For instance, Ubisoft has added a targeting system for combat and more aerobatic movement for the Prince. You'll also be able to unlock the original 1992 version of Prince of Persia and play it from the main menu. Well, so back when I was younger,
Back in my day.
back
in my day,
Prince of Persia was the game right there. It was like one of the big games, and I remember the Sands of Time because I played it for a little bit, and then it just fell off. They did like I want to say an Xbox remake, which I heard was like not good at all, and then it kind of just dropped through I don't know, it just dropped out of nowhere, just dropped into the nothing for a while there, and it's just now reappearing. I'm not real sure how to make it because let's say Ubisoft sometimes has a checkered record with things, so people was worried about Cyberpunk. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my expectations in line for this one. You have to worry about that one. I don't feel like a lot of people's gonna overhype it or anything, but the question is, will it have like enough new features? It should. I mean, it's gonna have a graphical improvement, but is it gonna have like multiplayer? I believe there was a princess or something in there too, or something. So could they make it two-player?
I have a question for you there, Nineball, concerning this.
Yeah.
And just your thoughts about this. Do you think it's too late? And I say that with the expectations that we have Assassin's Creed, who's well established. We have Ghost of Tsushima, which is the Japanese Assassin's Creed practically. Do you think it's different enough to survive Prince of Persia now?
No, it's gonna hit. I don't know if y'all really watched a lot of movies, but since we are kind of around October time anyways, who remembers Poltergeist? So you had the 1980s, like what was it, 1980s, 1990s version of Poltergeist, which was like stellar and created like the movie tropes and everything. And then when they remastered it, it absolutely sucked because the problem was everybody has seen that stuff before in other things. That could be what you said, could be just the problem. There's too much that they've seen in these other games. And to be honest, Prince of Persia's trying to be like the cool kid, but he's going to look like, you know, the idiot that's still stuck in the 70s somewhere, probably with like the platform shoes and stuff. Still thinking he's awesome. We're in like 2020.
Guys, he's all bottoms.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of curious about that too. Because I think one of the reasons why Ghost of Tsushima does well is that, one, it is different, but it does, like, it can give you that whole, like, for a while there, people were wanting Assassin's Creed to go to Japan. Or even China. Like, there's a long while where people were wanting to do that. I don't think, and maybe I'm wrong about this, maybe I just haven't dove too much into it, unless it's Assassin's Creed Origins, which actually I have right here. Is Origins...
No, that's in Egypt.
This is in Egypt. Okay, so you have Egypt, and then you have Persia. Do you think that's going to be different enough? Do you think it's...
ramen.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, as far as the genre, because we have Vikings, We have that's going to be coming out. We have the Pirates, which was the Black Flag. You know what I mean? You have you even have British. Like you have all these different types of genres or nationalities, I guess you could say. Yeah. The Revolution, you have that. So you had those different nationalities that's there, and Japan was the one that was huge, and they wanted to go that consumers wanted them to go that way. But now, as Ghost of Tsushima came out, so I feel like now if Assassin's Creed tried to do Japan, it just won't fly. Like you'll just be wanting to go ahead and go to Ghost of Tsushima anyway. That's my opinion. I could be completely wrong, but that's how I feel about it. But I'm wondering now with Prince of Persia coming behind all of this now, is Persia different enough to actually... the game itself is a classic, but is Persia different enough to actually put a standpoint right now and actually be different and actually sell?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I'm going to let you go on this one, Mildery. You go on ahead.
So, like you said, we've got Assassin's Creed. We've got Ghost of Tsushima, games that are based on, assassinating, direct combat fighting. That got, Ghost of Tsushima is brand new. Totally cranking it out. Assassin's Creed series has been out and about for a long time. Yes, the area for Prince of Persia is different. A lot of the combat is probably going to be almost similar. It's probably going to be the problem, especially if they're doing a remake. If you remember the old combat system, it's definitely very... it's not really like... You can go forward fighting, but it's also got that capability of sneak fighting as well, which Assassin's Creed and Ghost of Tsushima does too. So it feels like it's going to be a genre that's been overdone. The people who will probably be buying this game are going to be the one for nostalgia's sake, if at all. But I don't know... Unless they truly tweak the story mode and what they can present for the world, like truly redo the graphics and all, I don't see a lot of younger generations getting this game, to be honest with you. Like, because I haven't heard much hype on it. If they get it, it's because it went on Steam or, PlayStation, 5-store sale or something like that. I don't feel like it's got enough power to really come forward and make like a splash. I don't see it being that. I see, if anything, it's kind of like, you dropped like a breadcrumb in the pond, like a small one, like in a giant pond. It's not like, Cyberpunk 2077 or Ghost of Tsushima where someone just took a boulder and chucked it in, and just, wiped out grandma and grandpa on the shoreline. It's not like that. So I really don't feel they're going to try and make a foothold for themselves. I don't see it going too well. And another group that's, this is an older game, but it's still kind of going on a bit, is the new Tomb Raider series. The Tomb Raider, Rise of Tomb Raider, Shadow of Tomb Raider has those same aspects as Assassin's Creed and Ghost of Tsushima, but has its own unique storyline and plot and all. So, like I said, but you still hear stuff about it. It's still classical, and it's still going strong. Right now on PC or PS4, people are still loving it. You would have to be a diehard for Prince of Persia, and then, like I said, they would really have to not revamp the story, but definitely probably bring out some old scriptures that were probably tossed away because of the capabilities back then versus now. So I would have to wait and see before I could truly make a judgment. But like I said, I don't think it's going to be like, bam, like the top rank, number one thing. I don't see it at all, but there'll probably be some people who still love it and play it, and maybe it'll come in at the bottom level, and like Mario trying to save Peach from Donkey Kong, they'll climb up eventually to the top and get there. But
real quick, there is a bit of a difference between, like, I know you mentioned Tomb Raider, but the difference was Tomb Raider never really left. Prince of Persia kind of just was like that one-hit wonder. It just went away for like 20 years, just dropped the mic, walked off, and now coming back 20 years later and like, well, I'm back, kids.
It's because the sand's finally ran out.
Yeah,
time.
Yeah, it finally did. I mean, it's like it would be like handing your kid, like, right now, maybe finding a 5 or 7-year-old and handing them a cassette tape. I mean, they probably wouldn't know. They're gonna, I mean, you might as well give them that, because the minute they say, what is Prince of Persia? This game looks like Assassin's Creed. It came out before Assassin's. You know, it wasn't. And the original looks even worse.
That's actually something, a little side point, Malachi. You need to give Malachi Jr. a cassette tape and tape his reaction to it.
Oh no,
Malachi's
gonna start from the bottom till we get here. You know what I mean? Like that Drake song. Started from the bottom, now we're here. So he's gonna start on the PS1. He's gonna go to the PS2. He's gonna go to the PS3. He's gonna go to PS4, PS5. That's how it's gonna work. And then
if you need a Game Boy Color, I got you.
Hey, I'm all for it. No school like the old school. You know what I mean? No school like the old school.
PSP up there if you need it.
N64, bro. N64.
There you go. Gravity.
Yeah. What do you got?
Yeah, Prince of Persia was one of those games that I never got a chance to play it, but when it was around, at least from what I remember, I heard it was pretty good, and I completely agree with you guys that it is one of those things that just kind of was like, hey, what's up? I'm here. Everyone's like, wow, this was really fun, and then they were like, cool, see ya. And then now they're just coming back like kicking down the door like, hey guys, remember me? They're like, what?
Crickets.
Who? I guess they're like, look, I even got the old picture of me, the old version if you want to play that too. And they're like, okay, I guess. And that's not to bash on the developers at all. I'm sure there's a lot of thought that went into this decision, but as someone, for me, who's never played a game from the series, quite frankly, I'm not interested. But it would have to be honestly, they'd have for them to do a remake of a game like that hasn't had a continuation or anything in between. They'd have to do something where they revamp the play style. Because if you have the same, essentially just a game the same game that just looks better with the same play style, it's at that point, it's just why bother playing the new one when I can just play the old one and it's just going to play the same? And I also think it's kind of one of those things where if it kind of just feels like taking a picture of a picture. The more you keep taking a picture of it, oh, this was where I was going on this. I was going off on a tangent here. I think it was around the 2010s, when just sequel mania was happening, where they were doing remakes, they were doing sequels of just every movie you could possibly imagine. And at some point you get to a point where you're just can somebody please just make something original?
Yeah. Can
somebody please just start from scratch, come up with something new? I want something new. I liked that. I don't like 20 of that. Right. And so on one hand, you're it's cool that they took that time off. And if they're going to come back and they're going to have something new, I would love to see new game mechanics. But I guess as somebody who hasn't played it yet, it's all going to be new to me. So, I'm sure that if I played it, I would enjoy it. But, as just if I had to be critical about it, from somebody's perspective of somebody who has played it, I would think that they would want something new from it. That's kind of how I'm seeing it.
I'm actually feeling like they're going to do it. They actually just need to reboot the entire series from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. They need to give the fans something new.
Yeah, start it over, because to be honest, I think the game was last name. What was it? I want to say 2006. I know it came out on Xbox with the Sands of Time, and I think that was one of the last ones. And then it was Prince of Persia. They called it the Prince of Persia or something like that. Something stupid. and it came. Nobody remembered it, and it just just disappeared.
Well, let's hear from the man himself who apparently loves this game.
Yeah, that's all I can think of for that one. Do we have any other opinions on this? Because
the only thing I can think, the only thing I would say, to be honest with you, they're in a unique situation because this is either going to be a really, really good and amazing and great that they brought it back, or it's just going to go inside the shadows. And I say that because if they stick to what they've been doing back on like on GameCube and stuff like that, because this game was actually out on GameCube and I think even 360, if they continue doing that, it's not going to. I feel like a lot of people are just going to have that passion or that desire to go ahead and play Ghost of Tsushima or Assassin's Creed. If they do it a different way, how different can you really make it? Because then you might be going inside the territory of God of War 2018. You know what I mean? You might be doing that. If you do it even differently, you might be end up going inside Sekiro Die Twice territory. So I'm not sure what they could do necessarily for that, but it'll be interesting to see what they do. So I guess ultimately right now it's just speculation until we see gameplay, and then even that speculation until we get the game in our hands and try the demos or something like that. So
I'm sorry. Apparently, I'm looking this up, and there was a 2018 version.
of Prince of Persia has to be like
I don't know if it was a movie or what.
it's probably the movie.
Didn't they make a movie?
Oh,
Yeah.
it was a movie.
They did.
Yeah,
Yes, there was.
They did make a movie.
yeah.
Yeah, I never
Nobody
watched
saw
it.
Yeah,
But I will have to say I definitely agree with Malachi. My fear is the word make.
Mm.
You know, and when people were talking about the new Tomb Raider, the fear was like, you know, was it going to be a remake or is it going to be something new? They made something completely new. But they're saying remake in the announcement for this, and that's my biggest fear. Is like I would rather have what Nineball said, just make me a new game in the Prince of Persia universe. Yeah.
No, I do have this point, and this is strictly, you know, and this is definitely throwing it in Malachi's ball court, but there was also Final Fantasy VII Remake, where they did have remake in the title, and from what I understand, like it was a remake, but like it's not, you know, like it's kind of revamped itself in such a way that they did kind of, you know, freshen up the, you know, the fighting mechanics. They freshened up the story a little bit. Granted, they don't have the full story out, which I really wish they did, but that's another just topic. But you know, like that is an example of, you know, them just like another game just saying, hey, this is a remake, but it's more of a revamp.
Yeah.
But
I don't have a problem. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, no, totally agree with you both on that one. Yeah, definitely hope that they do something new with it.
Yeah.
I'll sit back down now.
I was about to say one last thing and let you get going. This Final Fantasy VII Remake is different. I didn't know how I felt about them separating it the way that they're separating it right now. I didn't know how I felt about that. Playing through and beating the first one, I 100% get it, and it makes me even that much more stoked for the next one to come on out. But before that, pre-launch, I had my concerns, and I think that they did it in a certain way to where it wasn't just the same. It was a whole new game when I was playing 7 Remake, which again, I won't go too much into it because that's not what this conversation is about. I'm just saying in general that one is a little different, and if they do what they did with 7 Remake to Prince of Persia, we might be in for something. It might be worth the pickup. We'll have to see. But go ahead there, Nineball.
With that one though, with the 7, it is a big difference. Like Tomb Raider, it never went away. 7 is regarded as probably one of the greatest Final Fantasies of all time by most Final Fantasy fans, and it's always been a huge demand. Square Enix has probably gotten, maybe since that game released, at least 5-10. How long was that game out?
We actually looked it up. It was 97. 97.
Yep. This game has been asked for a remake for God knows how long.
Facts.
Asked a remake.
Facts.
Whereas Prince of Persia, it was just the forgotten redhead in the basement, you know.
Wow.
Nobody wanted it. Nobody's really cared for it. I mean, I don't really know. Unless they inject something really good into it, I don't really see it as a huge pickup for me.
You know, I at least admire that they. Oh, sorry. One more thing. I at least admire that they're putting in the classic version in there, Because at least for me, like especially like with these with these newer prices for these next gen consoles, like for me, like if you're gonna throw in the original version of the game along with the remake, like to me that's kind of like an extra little, like it's a little incentive. Like it's a nice little, like for me, I guess that would kind of justify like a raised like a hiked price for that. Like if they were like, hey, get this new Prince of Persia game at $70, I'd probably say, I'll wait till it goes on sale. But if they're like, hey, like it has the new, the old school version of it, I might say, I'll still probably wait till it goes on sale. But it to me, like that's just extra content that they're giving away for free, and I at least appreciate that.
Oh god, it's the 1992 version. You might regret that.
Yeah. There would have to be some big differences between the two before I would
Gonna have to
go
get
for it.
Gonna have to get some sands of time to go back and play that one.
And moving on.
Yeah. Before
We're out of time on that one, folks. Sorry.
Yeah, we gotta go on here. We're gonna, before we move on to our last topic, we're gonna first thank our people out on Anchor for staying with us and encouraging us and keeping us going throughout this entire endeavor here.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah. Please sure, and if you're not, be sure to listen to us on Anchor and all our platforms that we're streaming on. Anchor, Twitch, and I think I don't know if it's gonna go up on YouTube, and
Yep.
you can go to our YouTube page too. And also be sure to help us out by sponsoring our Patreon page, which is at, what is it? So it should be in our Twitch category section down there.
Yep. www.patreon.com/ALWT Gaming.
Yes. Be sure to help us out. Also, with Halloween around the corner, we're going to have a 24-hour stream on Halloween.
24-hour.
Not 24. I'm sorry. Not 24. 9 to 5 segment. 9 to 5 segment. 9 to 5. Don't sue me. Don't you sue me. Don't sue us. We're not staying up all night.
He was playing with the sands of time.
Yeah. Unless we get the sands of time, okay? Then I can do whatever.
We doing another 24-hour. I got to get raised energy, man. So I got to get a full case.
Yeah, we're gonna do our 9 to 5 segment. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if I'm going to be with them, but we are ALWT themselves. We will be streaming World War Z.
Oh, first time ever.
Getting flash on some zombie action out here.
I don't like zombie games. I don't like horror games. I mean, I'll jump on some. What was that zombie game that we played on?
What was that, Dying Light?
Dying Light. Yeah, I jump on some Dying Light with some friends, but I
was gonna say, like, I don't like that. You played Dying Light with us.
Yeah, and I did that, and I think the only reason why I enjoyed it to the extent is, one, I'm with friends, and two, there's parkour, so I didn't feel completely helpless. But outside of that, horror games, forget it. But I'll be on there this Saturday for the 9 to 5 segment though for World War Z for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so be sure to tune in. You got what time does it start at?
9.
It's gonna start at 9. Yeah.
You gotta give us something here. Yeah. There's 9 balls to take for the day. We're waiting for Malachi. I'm gonna mine.
It's been a crazy day. Also, next Tuesday we're gonna have a special guest.
Say what?
We're not gonna tell you who it is yet. It's going to be announced. So be sure to stay tuned and be sure to keep your eyes and ears open. And be sure to tune in next Tuesday to find out who it is. On ALWT, All Things Gaming. And with that, we're going to go on to our final category here, which is everybody's favorite company, EA Games. Yeah. Everybody loves us some EA Games.
About all the hype I got for them.
I love their casinos. I mean, their microtransactions.
EA on next gen.
Not making enough money on those sports games. Come on, we gotta do something.
I mean, LeBron needs another pair of shoes. Come on.
Go on to EA on next gen consoles of all things. Eddie Malkovich, Malkuch. God, I am butchering names today. I am so sorry, guys.
We're just gonna call him Eddie.
Yeah, we're gonna say Eddie
Hi,
from
Eddie.
GameSpot. Many people assume that EA's marquee sports games like Madden 21 and FIFA 21 will be launch titles for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. But that will not be the case. Electronic Arts has confirmed that both games will release on December 4th, a few weeks after the console respective launches. In a press release, EA outlined at a high level what the next-gen console edition of both sports games will be able to achieve thanks to the full power of the new consoles. The games will deliver wait a minute, blazing fast load times, the most realistic, fluid playable ever. I'm sorry, ever EA Sports.
How fast are those speeds there?
Blazing
Fast.
fast.
I mean, authentic game day experiences inside stadiums and new player detail unlocked by deferred rendering and lighting.
Extra
EA
sweat.
said.
That means extra sweat.
I gotta say this: if I don't see sweat flying off of them and hitting the floor, and then a tablet coming out to clean it all up, I'm gonna be very disappointed. I'm over. I said before, don't get your hopes up. I'm getting my hopes up now. They better have everything. Like, I better be able to see like the pores on these guys' faces. I want to see full details. I want to see the fat guy in the crowd screaming with his chest painted and his belly flapping around for his team. That's how much detail I want to see. If they're
I
gonna
want to see the hairs on that guy's belly.
Amen, gravity.
You know he's got some hairs on there. Like,
Well, actually, no. A lot of the time they do shave it off because they want the smooth surface to get the full paint on and all. But you're gonna see the jiggle. I want. Oh my God!
On this.
There's nowhere to start. It's over.
Okay, do you have any place to start on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of. There's a few. So I do like playing sports games. I do. I think the point of sports games that we're at right now, and I've said this before, and I'm pretty sure that 99% of the other gamers, and I'm talking about diverse gamers, to where we play multiple other things, can agree with me on this. We have to stop giving these sports companies our money until they actually show us that's worth that time. And what I mean by that is that if you want to go ahead and pay for the next game, cool. Don't make it $60 because it's not going to be. You guys have already maxed out. Unless you're going to do something a little different, and that's why I always give my respect to FIFA, is because FIFA realized, at least the developers for FIFA, which again I know it's still under EA, but whatever team that they have for FIFA in particular, have realized that they had hit that particular wall. So that's why 4 years ago we ended up getting their journey mode, which was phenomenal to me, and that was like a continuation from 16, 17, and 18. I think I got that wrong. It was 17, 18, 19, that's what it was. So 17, 18, 19 was all the journey mode that was connected. So you had your soccer game, but you still bought this game that actually has a story to it, to where it feels like you're playing a full-fledged game. FIFA 20, I thought was going to fall off since they ended the journey mode from what I've saw, but they didn't. In fact, they not only did they bring back the pretty much FIFA Street, which is the Volta. Not only did they do that, but they brought in a story with the Volta to where you can create your own player and recruiting other players through the story, which was really cool to me. As well as you have in your season and all that good stuff, playing online with your friends, which is what the majority of people buy FIFA for. I'm curious to see what they did with FIFA 21 because that's actually out now. I am gonna pick FIFA 21 up. But as far as Madden goes, they haven't done anything to make me want them to give me my money at lunch. You know what I mean? Like there hasn't been anything there. Right now it's just roster updates. They've tried several different things. Really hasn't really stuck, at least with me as an individual gamer. But it's almost like they don't really care to. A lot of those engines are just reused. And it's just like, at this point, don't charge us the full 60. I want the next Madden, but I don't want to pay $60 for the next Madden. So
for the upgrade.
Right, yeah. It's just not worth it. So that's where I'm at with that. Overall with EA, because again, this article is more on the sports side. Overall with EA, the biggest game I'm really excited for is Dragon Age. That's pretty much it. I'm just looking forward to see when the next Dragon Age happens. Outside of that, I mean, maybe to see if they decide to do anything with Anthem, because that's been in the works as far as repairing it and making an Anthem 2.0 that's supposed to be absolutely amazing and supposed to be free for anyone that currently owns Anthem, which, look, EA, I own Anthem. I own it. So, just saying in general, it's supposed to be like a free upgrade for that, which I'm curious to see if they're actually going to follow through for. But outside of that, the only game that I'm really excited for that has to that's falling underneath the EA umbrella is Anthem. So we'll have to see.
Mass Effect.
I never got into the Mass Effects because remember, it started on Xbox. I didn't own an Xbox.
Well, you're gonna have a remaster coming out here soon, Malachi. And Mildew Carrot will definitely Christmas gift that to you, so you can learn to love.
Actually, let me see if it's on. Let me see if it's on the Game Pass. Actually,
Mass Effect probably.
I have a feeling it's not, because even though Game Pass is a great feature, still doesn't have all the games that you're looking for.
No, because they don't own every game.
Right.
Nope.
I'll start from here. So, yeah, we've heard this before. It was called Madden 2020 and Madden 2019. They've been going down hard. Now, I don't do FIFAs, and I really have not done a Madden in a few years, but I know a lot of friends that do, and these are hardcore Madden fans. And the first thing they told me was, I'm thinking about getting a Madden. Just get 19. If you're gonna get one, just get 19. Don't even pick up 20.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it was the absolute dumpster fire. You had glitches galore. There's like whole montages you can check out on YouTube about the amount of glitches on that game. It is a mess over there, and they really need to stop doing this. And they really need to actually, if you're not going to make a decent one, do an online roster update and wait a year, like their buddies over at like Battlefield will do, where you don't get like a Battlefield in yearly installments. Instead, they might wait a little bit and then release a good one, like Battlefield 5 was a great Battlefield. Instead of every year we're getting a Madden that looks like it's been just rushed out. Somebody just copied and pasted the whole thing and then just scribbled off like some of the coding halfway through. Yeah. Like the little son got it or something. Mikey, what are you doing? He's just scribbling like little ponies on the script and stuff. And put it in the game, they won't notice.
Oh my god.
Just don't EA, and don't sell it like that. Don't do this to your fans. And I can already tell you it's gonna have microtransactions. It's gonna sell for $70.
Yep.
And it's probably gonna have like a card system to where you're gonna have to do the cards and stuff for it. So it's not really worth it. Just wait.
Facts, man.
Yeah, like wouldn't it just be, just better, just like for like Madden, just having a game just called Madden, and then just have like season updates like they do with pretty much all other multiplayer games now.
Smite,
have, like,
Smite.
Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, and you can do like regular roster updates, or even just like with every new season, just update their roster. Like to me, it just seems a little inefficient for a company, and I know companies hate that word inefficient. It just seems a little inefficient for them to be essentially trying to innovate and come up with new ways of playing when they've already got the formula down. It sounds like for the most part, the gameplay is already there. They already know what sticks. So stick with that. And don't have like a super high price point. Like don't have like a super high point of entry, because at least for me, like if you're gonna have a really high priced game and then have all of these other features that are locked behind, paywalls, like people probably aren't gonna do those paywalls. But if you have that lower point of entry, you're gonna have more people who are like, like I only spent like a couple bucks on this game. Like I don't mind throwing a couple extra bucks at it.
The biggest issue with that is that you do have those people that they're still getting money. It's all about money for them, which again, companies in general, it is about money in general. At the end of the day, they're making games because they do like to make games, but they probably wouldn't be making as many games if they weren't getting paid the way that they're getting paid, to be honest with you.
You could do it like Smite though.
Yeah.
Like you could do it like Smite and have like new seasons. And then like with new seasons, like you could have like with your upgraded roster, you could have like upgraded stadiums. You could have like upgraded like different uniforms that you could have your team like wear. Like you could have like a throwback uniform. You could have, I don't know, like you could like customize your team. Maybe you can like just customize your team with like just old school players, newer people on the roster. Like it just seems like they're going about it in not the smartest way.
Agreed.
I agree with Gravity on that one. You could definitely do it, kind of like a season pass thing, towards like you have a base game, and then because you're constantly getting new rosters, new drafts, and all, and they do the updates based on that, and that will be the next season. Is all right. Well, I had, Tom Brady this one season, but now he's on this other team. I don't like that team, so now I don't have him. So I gotta find a new setup. So there's a way they could do it better. And to be honest, the only football game I ever played was on the N64, the Madden 64 on N64, and that was it. And that was the only time I ever played it. And even then, I was just like, okay, it's football, whatever. But they're like, oh, now it's on Xbox, it's on PlayStation. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done.
My grandparents had like the old school those like old school like handheld ones where it was just that. I remember playing that. Like my grandparents had that I played a little bit of, which was really fun. Which excuse me for not remembering the name of it, but yeah, like it was like just that. It was kind of like a Game and Watch kind of thing where it was like just its own little standalone unit.
Yep, I remember those.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I did some. We used to do Maddens back when I was like real young. I did like Madden 2K5, 2K6, and them. They used to do NCAA, and they used to have that one, and they used to be pretty solid. It's just, to be honest, over time they've gotten greedier and greedier. I understand people make games, but you don't have to go greedy to make it. You make a good game, it sells. CD Projekt Red, like for example, we talk about CD Projekt, but they did do The Witcher, which The Witcher 3 is considered one of the greatest games. You can take God of War. It doesn't have, from what I understand, doesn't really have microtransaction. Even I got Horizon. It doesn't really have microtransaction. They sell. If you make a good game, it's going to sell. You don't have to take a game, keep re-releasing it, and then just filling up with microtransactions. I once heard that somebody said that they really need to take it instead, if you're going to do it like that, at least go on to like maybe a subscription model, like a yearly thing, like 15, 20 a year, and they just update your roster and stuff, instead of every year you got to go take the Madden back in. Most people I know, they trade the Madden in for the new Madden. And it sucks even harder because these people, they're doing that, and it's not even like they're copying and pasting. It's like they're copying and downgrading.
Yep.
Most of the glitches were stuff that really wasn't even a problem, from what I'm understanding. Wasn't even a problem on 19, is a problem on 20. I don't know what happened. I mean, the console didn't change last year, did it?
No.
We didn't get a PlayStation 5 already. This ain't we ain't not talking about the PlayStation 6, are we? I mean, just checking. Somebody didn't give EA the memo. It may be, I don't know, but they need to just stop doing that and quit. Like I said earlier, quit advertising it like that. Just say, "Hey, we got a Madden coming out." Maybe they need to quietly tell the fans that, and then just go about their business.
Yeah, and if they're gonna have microtransactions, you gotta give fans like something that they're gonna want, like, because like if you're gonna be greedy with it, like at the very least, like put stuff up there that fans are gonna want. Like if you look at Fortnite, whenever they have like Marvel, like especially like when they have like Marvel characters, like they're like in the Star Wars characters, they're like, hey, we're only gonna have these skins up for a limited amount of time, so if you don't get it now, you're out of luck. And like I feel like they could like, you know, and again, I haven't played any of the more recent like Madden or NBA games, so it's just like I don't know, like, or even FIFA, like I don't know, like to the extent of like what they could do, whether it's specific players or whether it's just you know, different uniforms they could have, like different stadium locations that they could have, like I feel like there's a lot that they could do to it, and someone who knows more about sports could definitely, like, you know, inject that into these games and fill them with life and have like a continuous like season 1, season 2, like a battle pass kind of situation. But like because at the very least that's just going to extend the life of the game you already have. And if you have a subscription model where they're paying like $5 a month, you're basically having those people, if they're playing the full year, that's them just buying a new game every year anyway.
Yep.
And even if they only play half a year, that's half of a new game that you wouldn't have gotten either way.
Yeah, you can put it towards patches or something, or patch the game.
Like, do something. Like actually care about the games that you're going to put out. You know, like, don't put a game out there and then just say, here's a new one. It's a new year. It's a new sports year. Man, look how quiet we got when we started to talk about sports.
Just want to give you guys...
We're a gaming channel. This is why we talk about games. We're a lot more excited when we talk about games.
Give you a heads up there, 9 ball. We're at 7:30 right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to move on. We're gonna have to pick this up a bit. I'm sorry, we kind of lost track of time.
Oh, you're good. We're having a good time.
All right,
So much passion about EA and sports games.
Yeah, EA does that to us.
It's because we care.
I'm waiting for an N7 day.
We're going to go on down to our Sin segment, Strength and Numbers segment. We're going to talk about some games. Anybody got any ideas of games we are currently playing? We're going to let you start out, Mildewy, because I saw that you were streaming one the other day.
Yep, trying to finish up Code Vein with TBF Abyss. We're getting towards the end, boss, so it's going to be some fun stuff there. We're going to have to do some grinding first, because if you ever watch that video, we slapped. Slapped, clapped, and yeah, talking about it. But yeah, no, definitely doing that. Definitely going to do a shout out. Wait for November, guys, when TMNT comes to Smite, because I can guarantee you, 9 Ball, Malachi, myself, our good friend Ohio, we will be doing nothing but Smite 24/7 all day long, even though we have to go to work.
Heard that. Heard that.
Flash.
You already know it. Final Fantasy 14, which I'm actually thinking about jumping on right after the stream, as well as diving inside some Legends for Ghost of Tsushima that came out on the 16th, which was my birthday. That was 2 Fridays ago, and I'm ready to roll with some friends. Of course, I would like to get through the story first, which I'm almost done with, but. And I played the first level, by the way, with one of my buddies, with my twin, that is. So I jumped on with him. We had a good time. We played through the first level. It's good. It's good. It's definitely what I was wanting. Definitely what I was wanting. And it was a mode that I didn't know I needed in the game. So, yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Strength and numbers right there for me.
We're going to go to you, Gravity. You got any?
You know, honestly, like I'm probably just gonna be copying and pasting Malachi over here. I need to pick Final Fantasy back up. I've taken like a 2-week hiatus from it. Like and it's like if you guys have ever played a game where you just play sun up to sundown for like a month and a half to 2 months straight, and then eventually you're just like, I want to play something different. And one thing from the developers of this game that I do appreciate is that they've gone on record saying, hey, don't burn yourself out playing this. Like, there are other great games out there. There's other things to do in life than just play this game. So go out and do that. And at the very least, from a developers, I really do appreciate them actually sending out that PSA instead of just being like, no, you need to be plugged into it 24/7. You need to give us your money. You need to give us, look, and we got all this content. You need to do all of it. I lost my cool a little bit there.
Yeah.
But my birthday was very, very recent. I had the Game Fairy stop by and drop off a Ghost of Tsushima. So I actually started to play that a little bit. Malachi and I were talking about that like right before the stream. Holy crap, the opening scene was hilarious. Not going to tell you what it is, but I loved that. I thought it was hilarious. But it is a really intense game. It's a very gorgeous game. And one thing that I keep thinking to myself as I keep playing it is that it's just going to look even prettier on the PlayStation 5. So I'm super excited for that. Other than that, I got to get through my Dragon Quest. I got to get through Dragon Quest, I think 10. The story's been getting really good. I've been picking it up a lot more, so got to get through that.
And as for me, you're going to be able to see me basically play. I've been playing a lot of, like he said, mainly 14 is the game I've been mainly playing. Outside of that, I've been picking up Warframe on and off, and trying to get back into some Smite. So when the Turtles come out, I'm ready.
Yep. Every Thursday night, Smite night.
Yep. As for us, we're going to do a quick segment here. I'm gonna ask you real quick, does anybody have a Randy moment?
Not recently, no.
Not this week.
Yeah, not recently.
Yeah,
I've been a Hobbit this week.
Randy was MIA.
Good. We're gonna let him go, and I believe that.
Randy lives for another day.
Yeah.
We're gonna get him.
Randy.
And that's gonna wrap it up for us for tonight. We're hoping to see y'all next Tuesday. Don't forget, we've got a special guest, and it's gonna be to be announced. So tune in and find out who it is. Till then, we'll see you there. And Control Alt
Complete.
Complete.
Take it easy.
You guys said it all normal. I'm all okay.